Talk to fluency from beginner to fluent.
Take your English skills to the next level.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're taking a closer look, a deep dive really, into something that seems simple but is actually pretty complex, English humor. Specifically, we're looking at jokes, the kind you hear all the time. And our mission today, well, it's more than just having a laugh. We want to figure out if these simple English jokes can actually be like a secret weapon for you. A key to unlocking the language and the culture behind it on a deeper level. Can something so light really pack such a punch for learning?
It's a fascinating question, isn't it? Because understanding humor, saying language you're learning, it's often compared to dissecting a frog.
Oh, right. I've heard that analogy.
Yeah. You gain this incredible insight into how it works, the structure, what makes it tick. But in doing that analysis, that really close look, the immediate life of the joke, the spontaneous laughter, it might kind of fade away temporarily.
Okay.
So it becomes more about getting that deep linguistic insight, maybe over the instant belly laugh. And for deep learning, that's a worthwhile trade-off, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. And honestly, that's okay for today. Because even if some of these jokes are a bit, let's say, cheesy.
Or maybe classic dad jokes.
Exactly. They're actually perfect tools. They show off clever wordplay, those tricky double meanings, common cultural points, things that are just woven into everyday English. So yeah, this isn't just about giggling. It's a real chance for you to learn deeply and hopefully have a bit of fun too. Okay, so let's dive right in. Where does the magic usually start with these English jokes? Is it often down to the words themselves?
Oh, absolutely. A huge number of English jokes really exploit the richness and, frankly, the ambiguity of the language.
Ambiguity? How so?
Well, English has loads of words that sound the same but mean different things, homophones, and words that just have multiple meanings depending on the context. Humor often just springs right out of that. It forces your brain to juggle different possibilities for a word or a sound, which is actually great practice for language processing in real time.
Right, like a little mental workout. Okay, give us an example, something that really shows off that word trickery.
Okay, how about this one? What do you call security guards working outside Samsung shops?
Uh-huh.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's clever. My mind immediately jumps to the Marvel movies.
Exactly. That's the first layer. Guardians of the Galaxy, the big movie franchise.
Right.
But then you've got Samsung, famous for its Galaxy phones.
Ah, okay.
So the guards protecting the Samsung Galaxy products are literally Guardians of the Galaxy. It's a neat little blend of pop culture and branding. You need both pieces for it to click.
You really do. Okay, here's another one I've seen. It kind of nails the definition. What's the difference between ignorance and apathy?
Okay, what is it?
I don't know and I don't care.
Perfect. That's just...
Yeah.
The punchline is the definition. Ignorance is I don't know. Apathy is I don't care.
Right.
The cleverness is in how direct it is, presenting the meaning as the answer itself. It makes you connect the abstract words to a really common phrase.
Or this one definitely got me the first time. I couldn't figure out why the baseball kept getting larger. Then it hit me.
Ah, a classic. Because it hit me. It works on two levels, right?
Yeah.
One, the baseball literally hit the person. That explains why it looked like it was getting bigger.
Makes sense.
But two, it hit me, is that common phrase, that idiom, for a sudden realization, like, oh, now I understand.
Right.
The joke sets up this little mystery, and the punchline uses that perfect wordplay to solve it. Makes you rethink the whole setup.
Totally. Okay, this next one feels like a real old school pun. Why do pirates have to learn the alphabet?
Why?
Because if they don't, they'll be lost at sea.
Lost at sea.
Yeah,
that relies completely on the sound. The letter C sounds just like sea, the ocean. And pirates, well, they're always at sea. So lost at sea is literal for them, but it's also a pun on not knowing the letter C. And it's just a great example of how sounds can lead to totally different meanings in English.
Definitely. And for anyone who likes science, maybe chemistry.
What
should you do when no one laughs at your chemistry jokes?
Okay, what?
Just keep going until you get a reaction.
Nice one. Again, a dual meaning. A reaction can be the social response, laughter from the audience.
Right.
But in chemistry, a reaction is, well, it's a chemical process.
Yeah.
So the humor is applying that scientific term back onto the social situation.
It works. And sticking with science, maybe forgive the pun here, why can't you trust an atom?
Why not?
Because they make up everything.
Ah, that's brilliant.
Yeah.
Makeup, because atoms literally make up everything. They're the building blocks of matter.
Yep.
But to make something up also means, to invent a story, basically, to lie.
Right, to fabricate.
Exactly. So the joke implies atoms are untrustworthy fibbers. It's a really neat linguistic trick.
Okay, one more in this vein. This one's kind of celestial. How does the moon cut its hair?
How?
It clips it.
Clips it. Sounds just like clip it, like trimming hair. And even though the moon doesn't have hair, the word eclipse is obviously tied to the moon. So the wordplay feels connected, even if it's silly. It just shows how creative English puns can get.
So pulling this all together, beyond just getting the joke, what's the big takeaway here for you, listening?
Well, it's like these jokes act as a kind of linguistic x-ray.
Right. Yeah, I like that.
They expose the mechanics hidden underneath the double meanings, the similar sounds, even little grammatical twists. Understanding them isn't just about, oh, I get it. It helps you develop a better feel for the language.
An intuition.
Exactly. An intuition that you just can't get from a textbook. You start to really appreciate how flexible and, honestly, how surprising English words can be.
Okay, so wordplay is huge, but that's not the only game in town, is it? Some jokes seem to work differently.
No, definitely not. Sometimes the cleverness isn't strictly in the words having two meanings. Sometimes it taps into something we all just know.
Yeah.
A shared experience, a common observation, maybe a pop culture thing. It creates a different kind of aha moment. It's less about a language trick and more about connecting with a collective understanding.
Okay, like the one about searching online. How do you know when you're desperate for an answer? When you look at the second page of Google search results.
Oh, totally. That's pure observation.
Yes. Yeah.
It works because it highlights something almost everyone who uses the internet understands.
Right, that feeling.
Yeah, hardly anyone goes past page 1 unless they really have to. It's like an unwritten rule.
Yeah.
So hitting page 2 signals that, almost comical level of desperation. It connects because it's relatable.
It's so true. I think I've been on page 3 before and felt like I'd reached the end of the internet.
We've all been there. Or think about this classic bit of misdirection. Why can't dinosaurs clap their hands?
So, yeah, I always fall for this. My brain goes straight to the T-Rex, with the tiny arms.
That's exactly what it wants you to do. The setup deliberately points you towards the T-Rex's small arms, making you think that's the reason. But the punchline, because they're extinct.
Oof, right.
It's stark, it's literal, it's undeniably true. And it's funny because it completely subverts your expectation with such an obvious fact. Misdirection using truth.
Okay, this next one feels very specific, culturally speaking, especially maybe for U.S. listeners. What do you call hiking U.S. college students?
What?
The Walking Dead.
Ooh, yeah. That one's clever, but definitely needs cultural context. The Walking Dead, the zombie TV show, is huge.
Right.
And the joke links that title to the very real issue of massive student loan debt in the U.S.
Right.
So students become walking dead. It's making a pretty dark social comment, humorously. You need the pop culture and the social awareness for it to work.
You really do. And how about this one? Poking fun at a certain type. Why did the hipster burn his mouth?
Okay, why?
Because he drank his coffee before it was cool.
Nice. That plays perfectly on the stereotype, right?
Yeah.
Hipsters liking things before they were cool, meaning unpopular or niche.
Yeah.
But the joke takes it literally the temperature of the coffee. He didn't wait for it to cool down. It embodies the whole ahead of the curve idea in a really funny, self-defeating way. Relies entirely on knowing that cultural trope.
It does. And if you've got kids or just, have been alive the last decade, you'll likely get this one instantly. Why can't you give Elsa a balloon?
Oh, I know this one. Because
she'll let it go.
Yep. Straight from the Disney movie Frozen and that massive song, Let It Go.
Can't escape it?
Pretty much. The humor is purely based on recognizing that incredibly famous line. Just shows how current pop culture gets baked into jokes.
Okay, quick one here. Plays on words again, but feels different. Why did the selfie go to prison?
Why?
It was framed.
Framed, right. Double meaning again. A photo, a selfie gets put in a picture frame. But to be framed also means being set up, falsely blamed for a crime.
Right.
So applying that legal meaning to a photo is unexpected, and that's where the humor comes from.
And one last one, just a simple sweet pun using sound. What do you call the horse that lives next door?
Let me guess. Your neighbor.
You got it. Your neighbor.
Yeah, just straightforward. The horse sound neigh mixed with neighbor. It's gentle, almost a kid's joke, but it works because of that sound similarity.
So thinking about these observational and cultural jokes, this is where it gets really interesting for your English skills, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
They're like these little windows into everyday life, into shared knowledge, into cultural touchstones. They show you what ideas, what references, maybe even what anxieties are common enough currency in the English-speaking world to be joked about.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They build that bridge between just knowing the words and understanding the context they live in, the lived experience.
Now, a lot of these jokes we've looked at, they definitely have that dad joke vibe.
Yeah, a little corny, perhaps.
Maybe a bit. Sometimes you groan more than you laugh. And it feels kind of ironic analyzing them like this. It brings us back to that dissecting the frog idea, doesn't it? We're really picking apart the mechanics here.
It does, yeah. Which leads to a really important question. Why bother? Why spend time on these jokes that might seem simple or even, cheesy? What's the secret power here for someone learning English?
Right. What is it?
Well, I think their secret power is in that apparent simplicity. They often take quite complex linguistic ideas, double meanings, idioms, cultural references, and package them in a really accessible way.
Accessible how?
More accessible than, say, just reading a dry grammar rule or a long vocabulary list. Jokes are like little puzzles. You get to solve them in this low-pressure, maybe even silly context.
Okay.
And when you break them down, you're not just getting the joke. You're getting a real insight into how English actually works in practice, or maybe even how native speakers sort of play with the language.
So the aha moment of the joke helps the language point stick.
Precisely. Much better than just trying to memorize something. It makes the concept memorable.
So these dad jokes, it's like kind of stealth teachers, teaching us without us realizing.
You could definitely say that. Think about the range of vocabulary and concepts they reveal, all wrapped up in context.
Really big sake.
Well, remember the Google search joke? It really cemented the meaning of desperate in a situation most of us recognize.
True.
The dinosaur joke, bam, reinforces extinct in a surprising way. The ignorance and apathy, one gave you those definitions, plain and simple. They teach words in action. And then there are all the idioms and phrases. It hit me from the baseball joke that wasn't just funny. It locked in that dual meaning, physical and mental, better than a dictionary ever could.
Right.
We also touched on Lost at Sea with the pirate. And loads of jokes play on common idioms like, know-it-all, or something being hard to swallow, or an old project collecting dust. Or when someone makes something up, meaning they lie. Jokes force you to grapple with those figurative meanings, which are crucial for understanding natural conversation.
Okay, and the cultural stuff we talked about. How do the jokes embed that knowledge?
They act like mini cultural primers, really. The Guardians of the Galaxy joke needs you to know a movie franchise and a phone brand. The Elsa joke from Frozen, the Walking Dead joke, linking to the TV show. These are direct cultural references. Understanding them doesn't just make the joke land. It tunes you into the shared context of English speakers. You start to get the collective references, not just the words.
So it's about more than just language. It's about shared knowledge.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even grammatically, while they aren't explicit lessons, lots of jokes play with structure. The old one, can February, March? No, but April, May.
Yeah.
It plays on using months as verbs, subtly showing how word categories can bend. Or even that phrase teenagers use, I can't even, which isn't proper grammar but conveys huge meaning. Jokes make you think actively about how language is put together, sometimes by breaking the rules playfully.
So after all this, you, our listener, hopefully have a much deeper sense of English humor now, and you see the linguistic gymnastics involved.
Hopefully, yeah.
You can spot those double meanings, catch the cultural nods, maybe even, dare I say, appreciate the humble dad joke for the clever language tool it often is.
It's true.
You're not just learning words, you're learning how English speakers play with them, how they think, what connections they make. That feels like a really advanced kind of understanding. So here's a final thought. The next time you hear an English joke, maybe one that makes you pause or scratch your head, remember our deep dive today. Instead of just dismissing it if you don't get it immediately, maybe try to, dissect it a little. Ask yourself, what's going on here? Is it wordplay, a cultural thing? What linguistic or cultural secret might it be hiding? You might genuinely surprise yourself with what you find out about English.
Absolutely. Because understanding humor, it's not just about getting a laugh. It's really about connecting. Connecting with the language and with the people who speak it on a much deeper, more nuanced level. It's a fantastic way to learn, often hiding in plain sight.
See you later in the Talk to Fluency YouTube channel. Subscribe for more. Bye.
Talk to Fluency from beginner to fluent.
Take your English skills to the next level.